Hi, Dan Fontaine, Fontaine Network, and Happy New Year. Today, just a short vlog on two books I'd like to share and people that have been important in my life. Of course, there are many more books that I like and recommend, and certainly a number of people that have had influence in my life, and I'm just going to share these today. The first book is a book called The Little Red Book. It's Harvey Penick's book. It's about golf, so the old school golfers may have heard about him, and if not, certainly I recommend getting a copy of the book. And Harvey not only coached at the University of Texas years ago, but he also ended up as the teaching pro at the very club he started as a caddy. So he coached there or taught there for 60 years. And the thing I like most about Mr. Penick's book is that it's keep it simple. He talks about making adjustments for many parts of your game, whether it's in the sand trap or a fairway or approach shot or putting, any number of different things. But it's always about keeping it simple, playing within yourself. He talks, so I enjoyed that book, and it certainly would be an interesting thing to sit down with a child of yours that you're introducing to golf, or just to yourself, or a friend that you're introducing to golf. And one of the great things I like about his book is how he uses the power of words. One quick example is, to use the term grip down instead of choke down on a golf club. Well, choke has many connotations. It means gripping it too hard. It could mean blowing the shot, blowing the play, that sort of thing. So gripping down, the power of words and how that affects our game at any level and any sport. Second book I like is called Wooden, by Coach John Wooden, the legendary UCLA basketball coach who won 10 NCAA championships in a row. And this book, he talks about basically life. Coach Wooden was a teacher, a coach. Winning wasn't his main motivation at all. Making players, better young men. He would go to the start each new season with having all of his players, his fourth-year seniors, fifth-year seniors, sitting down and putting on their socks correctly. And people would scoff at this idea, but his thinking was, taking care of the little things, getting prepared. If you had blisters, you couldn't practice well, you couldn't practice hard, you couldn't play well or play hard. So starting with the basic things to prepare you for success. And that's what this whole book is about. He talks about integrity, he talks about willpower, he talks about effort. He talks about things that are applicable to each one of us every day in our life. And I just thought, both of these men seem to me to be good men, teachers, people that wanted to help other people and didn't seek the limelight at all, and perhaps were even uncomfortable with it. So Harvey Penick's Little Red Book, and the book titled Wooden, and there are many books about John Wooden, but I like this book, just titled Wooden, Coach John Wooden. The third and fourth group are people that want to help us succeed, or are doing things to serve others. The company I'm with, Empower Network, Dave Woods, and the people that he has working with him, with us, for us, is a young man, early 30s, that created this fantastic worldwide program for blogging and for training and for instruction, and it's a business opportunity as well if one would like. He doesn't need to do this. He could be just as successful without the headaches of running his own worldwide company. But Dave truly, and I truly believe this, believes and wants to help others succeed, to be successful, to bring them along with him. He has a stated goal of, creating, maybe 10, hundreds of millionaires a year eventually, but 10 a year this year. He's already helped 13 or 14 in the last 2 years. And money isn't the motivation. It's a lifestyle. How can he help us, each one of us, help you, help me, live the lifestyle that we'd like? Take away some of the headaches, be able to do things for others, to use some of those funds and our time to benefit others and whatnot. So, and that's my fourth group. But finding a young man and a company that I believe truly wants our success. And yeah, he's going to benefit, or he does benefit from this, but it isn't his main objective. And so there's the teaching and the training there. So that's one individual. The other is a group of individuals, and a general group, and volunteers. Volunteers touch me somewhere in the heart, getting out and helping other people to be better. High school coaches in some of those non-traditional sports like rugby or whatnot. Not necessarily the coaches that are being paid, but the coaches that are in some of the smaller sports. But people that coach for their love of, say, the game in sports, or people that volunteer and help at places like Special Olympics, the Fisher House for wounded veterans and their families, the Ronald McDonald House for kids that are going through some tough times right now and their families. And there are, of course, thousands of other organizations across this country and the world that we can all help with. And I highly recommend doing it for yourself. I mean, a great sense of warmth and being able to help others. Teach your kids, bring your kids, get them involved. And it's a great way to teach them any number of things about life, to get them involved with helping others, to understand that maybe they're quite fortunate, or they are quite fortunate with the benefits and the health that they have. A fantastic thing, and we don't do enough of it. We don't, unfortunately, involve our kids in this as I think we should across the country. It's generally, it is the people in this country that make the country. And I do think Americans and people of every country are good people. Things get screwed up when you get with the politicians and everything like that, but I think the people in most countries are good wherever you go. So being able to volunteer and help others is a fantastic personal reward, and it helps along the way. And the fourth life lesson, or the fourth fifth life lesson, and the person that's been very important in my life was my little grandmother. She was like 5 foot nothing, and the thing I remember most, very most about my grandmother was I could be a screw up at school, at home. Life could be in its teenage years and tatters, or all sorts of craziness. And even after in college. But when I went to my grandmother's house, she just loved me. That was it. Yeah, she wanted to know how things were going. Here's some cookies, milk, or sit down and talk. But my grandmother was love to me. Has always been love to me. You walked in, she just loved me. And how many of us can say that to members of our family or our friends? And something I'd love to, I aspire to is that someone can come to me and I listen. And, certainly with family, I love them. And with friends too. But so, these two good books, The Little Red Book, Wooden, about John Wooden. In this case, I was talking about the leadership and the founders of Empower Network, and how inspired I am by their desire to help others and making it happen. Volunteers, a special type of people that take time out of their lives to help others, and certainly the benefits they receive are hard to explain, but I highly recommend involving your children in that as well. And then for me, my little grandmothers, who in your life has been special for you and an anchor as you go through life. So take care, Happy New Year, and Dan Fontaine, Fontaine Network.